Good morning, Turks and Caicos. We're going to talk about let's move. We're going to get moving this morning. So a very pleasant good morning to you. Honourable Minister of Education with portfolio responsibility for sports, the Honourable Minister of Health and Human Services, Member of the House of Assembly, the Honourable Kyle Knowles, Acting CEO of the National Health Insurance Board, Deputy Chief Medical Officer, the Director of Sports, members of the Let's Move TCI Committee, staff of the NHIB, members of the media, good morning. This morning's press conference will focus on getting us moving toward healthier lifestyles through good nutrition and physical activity. As we continue to navigate the challenging and rapidly changing environment, coupled with the added stress caused by the COVID-19 pandemic, we'll hear from ministers of government and heads of statutory bodies, all of whom will emphasize inter alia the importance of good nutrition and physical activity, various school initiatives, healthcare costs, facts about fitness, and partnerships with corporate TCI. I now invite the Minister of Education, Labour, Employment and Customer Services, the Honourable Rachel Taylor, to bring us her remarks. Honourable Taylor.
Good morning, Turks and Caicos. Let's Move TCI, an initiative that is headed by the Ministry of Education in collaboration with the Ministry of Health in an effort to ensure that the people of the Turks and Caicos Islands become fit for a purpose. So I can guarantee you that the Turks and Caicos Islands, after hearing our Let's Move initiative today, will definitely come on board. We're going to start from our children right down to their elderly, although our focus will be specific on a particular range of individuals. But that will not stop you from getting involved, because we are going to move in the Turks and Caicos Islands. The mission, I must say, is to increase Turks and Caicos Islands residents' engagement in sports and physical activity, and to promote holistic, healthy living alongside proper nutrition. Goal 1 of the People's Plan is to ensure that as many people as possible can play sports and engage in physical activity. And I must say that this is in alignment of the Sports Commission strategic plan. So all that we are saying and all that we are doing, it's strategic. May I speak very briefly about the impacts of good health on enjoyability of life? Having a healthy life means you are less prone to developing heart disease. Basically, Turks and Caicos, spending a few minutes a day relaxing and enjoying yourself is definitely good for your mental health, which can improve your physical health as well. And as you relax and enjoy yourself, you must take some time to get physically involved. Brief exposure to high anxiety levels can harm the brain and obstruct good cognitive functioning. As a part of brain healthy way of life, it is important to manage stress successfully and effectively, and being engaged in fitness activities can do just that. Definitely, in the Turks and Caicos Islands, we want less persons experiencing anxiety. I must say that having good health, it makes you happy, and happiness strengthens your immune system. Healthy people have fewer aches and pains, which give you the opportunity to live more productive and healthy life. Having a good health combats diseases and disabilities. Having a good health lengthens our lives. And in the Turks and Caicos Islands, who wants to live a short life? I am guaranteed that we all will aspire to want to see our young children live productive lives. So if we're going to think about longevity, we have to make sure that we live healthy. And a part of living healthy encourages us to become fit. We must understand that there is a relationship between good health and productivity, because this creates a positive and efficient work culture and environment. And some of the benefits of working on your health and well-being, it includes improved focus at work, reduced stress, increased job satisfaction and positive outlook. And young ladies and ladies of all ages, you know how we feel when we look good. When we become really fit, it boosts our self-confidence. So that is what Let's Move TCI is all about. Physically being healthier and improving your general well-being. You know what it also does? It increases better relationship with your colleagues and your managers. So in saying this, I know that the entire Turks and Caicos Islands, our employees and employers, are going to ensure that they are a part of this Let's Move TCI. So therefore, in saying that, we are encouraging the participation of the corporate community to join Let's Move TCI. I want us to all know that there is a correlation between employee health and productivity. And of course, everyone should want to take steps towards a healthier lifestyle. You notice we continue to emphasize healthier lifestyles and being active. But as an employer, we can give our employees the nudge they need to start by offering specific benefits and incentives that affect their health. And making sure that they join Let's Fit TCI, I'm quite sure my team will tell you much about the cost implications. We must work together to put all the mechanisms in place at our various workplaces to ensure that our staff remain healthy, remain fit, and with Let's TCI, this is only going to boost those initiatives of our various companies. I want to say it again, as we encourage our employers. This is what a healthy lifestyle does. It boosts productivity. Once again, it boosts wellness. It boosts stamina. It reduces injury and optimism. So I want to say to all the employers, pay attention to your health. Employees, pay attention to your health as well. This is equally as important to paying attention to your career. Now, I want to boil it down to and put an emphasis on school nutrition and physical fitness program. Our team here at the Sports Commission will definitely ensure that we partner with all our schools around the Turks and Caicos Islands, inclusive of the private schools and the government schools. Our PE teachers will definitely liaise with the Sports Commission, and we will put mechanisms in place to strengthen the curriculum as it relates to PE, providing opportunities for our students to become more involved. And this will definitely be in line with our school nutrition and physical program. I want to encourage our principals as well to get your PTAs actively involved. Encourage them to sign up. Because once we have an effective and healthy family, they will indeed produce healthy children. Thank you. And please, Turks and Caicos, join the Let's Move TCI.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. Thank you for that enthusiasm and energy. I almost felt like moving already. So thank you very much, Honorable Minister. We'll now hear from the Minister of Health and Human Services, the Honorable Jamel Robinson. Honorable Robinson.
Thank you, Ms. Foreman. Good morning, Turks and Caicos. Before I begin my prepared remarks, I am sad to report the TCI's 24th COVID-19 related death. On Wednesday, November 24th, 2021, an individual known to be positive for COVID-19 but was asymptomatic died in Providencia Islands. The individual was asymptomatic at the time of passing and known to have multiple comorbidities. Immediate relatives and other stakeholders have been notified. The thoughts and prayers of the Ministry of Health and myself are with the family and friends of this individual. May their soul rest in peace and rise in glory. I'd like us to take a couple of moments of silence for the passing of this person. Thank you. Turks and Caicos, the Let's Move TCI initiative is a big deal. Let me say that again. The Let's Move TCI initiative is a big deal. It demonstrates what collaboration and partnership with multi-stakeholders can produce. It has the full backing of the Ministries of Health and Human Services and that of Education, Labor and Sports, as well as the entire Turks and Caicos Islands government and its ministers, cabinets, and members of the House of Assembly. When my team and I was brought in for the first meeting with the Sports Commission to be a partner in this initiative some months ago, we jumped on board. We put our money where our mouths are. And here we are at the launch of something that I hope will be a paradigm shift in how we live as Turks and Caicos Islanders in our country. I'd like to thank the Sports Commission and their team, as well as all committee members, for bringing this concept to a reality. It is well established that healthy nutrition and physical activity are key lifestyle factors that modulate lifelong health through their ability to improve your overall health. While the health benefits of nutrition and physical activity are often studied singularly, it has become more and more evident that the integration of nutrition and physical activity has the potential to produce greater benefits rather than solely concentrating on one or the other. Good nutrition and physical activity combined help to prevent chronic diseases such as diabetes, heart disease, high blood pressure, stroke, weight gain, high cholesterol, obesity, cancer disease, and some cancers as well. And in the Turks and Caicos Islands, we as a people face many of those diseases, many of those challenges just outlined. Eating well is important because without the proper nutrition, the body will not run properly. Think of the body as a car. I think of mine as a Corvette, actually. When you fill a car with gasoline, there are usually three options: regular, plus, or premium. If your car requires premium, and all of our cars does, and you instead fill it with regular or plus, the car runs, but not as well. Its power and fuel efficiency are diminished. Only when fueled with premium does it work to its maximum capability. It is exactly the same with nutrition, physical activity, and the body. Bad nutrition and lack of exercise lead to bad output and health issues. Good nutrition and exercise allow the body to produce a higher physical and mental output. Being healthy doesn't have to mean making drastic changes to your diet or lifestyle. Making small, consistent changes to your daily routine can become healthy habits that improve your overall well-being. Maintaining a healthy diet, getting adequate sleep, and being physically active should become parts of your daily routine. To promote and instill the benefits of good nutrition and exercise at an early age, the Ministry of Health will also revitalize its school nutrition and physical fitness program in order to foster the development of lifelong healthy lifestyle practices of students from the preschool through post-secondary levels in the Turks and Caicos Islands. The Health Promotion and Advocacy Unit, Departments of Agriculture and Education will all play a vital role in the execution of the National School Nutrition and Physical Fitness Policy. After-school pilot programs will be implemented at 2 primary schools in Grand Turk to educate students and their parents about the importance of infusing proper nutrition and physical fitness into their daily living by using a variety of creative art forms to communicate therapeutic messages to students. This initiative will support the mission of Let's Move TCI to increase the Turks and Caicos Islands residents' engagement in sport and physical activity, and to promote holistic, healthy living alongside proper nutrition. For the last time today, this is a big deal. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister of Health and Human Services. By repeating it so many times, we truly believe it's a big deal and that you're fully involved and ready for this. And Turks and Caicos, I hope you heard the passion. The Honorable Minister says he's going to lead the way for his team's involvement in Let's Move TCI. Right, Minister? Okay. Our next speaker's job is as demanding as that of a politician. But politics, I think, is not on her bucket list. Please help me welcome the interim CEO of the National Health Insurance Board, Mrs. Tamara Howell-Robinson.
Thank you, Ms. Foreman, and good morning, Turks and Caicos. I have some numbers for you. In 2019, the National Health Insurance Board spent $59.7 million on healthcare expenses. In 2020, $51.5 million. And this financial year, 2021-22, we have budgeted $57.7 million for healthcare expenses. Here are some other numbers that each of us individually need to know. Blood pressure, cholesterol, blood sugar, our weight. Diabetes and hypertension resulted in my mom being a double amputee and losing her eyesight. She consistently encouraged, though, when you know better, do better. As a beneficiary of the National Health Insurance Plan, your benefit package includes annual or biannual physicals. I encourage you today, take advantage of this benefit, and especially ahead of the start of this project. Take the time to go and get your annual physical and know your numbers. Pay more attention to what you eat. Manage your diet. Get some movement every day. Let's Move TCI is the perfect initiative to kick us all into gear, and not only to get us into better shape, but to educate us on how to maintain a healthy lifestyle. Fostering good health practices, good health-seeking practices, and encouraging preventative health care measures is a goal for us here at the National Health Insurance Board, building a healthy nation, one person at a time. Partnering with the TCI Sports Commission on this project keeps us on that pathway. When you know better, let's do better. Let's move TCI. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Howell Robinson. We've been hearing that adage from children. You know better, do better. So we intend to do better for sure. Coming to the podium now is a gentleman who's going to really tell us about fitness. He's actually very fit himself, I understand. So please welcome the Director of TCI Sports Commission, Mr. Jared Forbes.
Good morning, Turks and Caicos. I just want to correct Ms. Foreman, was fit. But I can promise you, after Let's Move TCI, I will be fit, okay? So my role here in this press conference is to talk about the details. Now that we've heard from the Minister of Education, the Minister of Health, and the CEO of NHIP about why this is so important, here are the details. No fried chicken, no hot dogs, and no noodles, okay? I'm just kidding, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. This is a very exciting campaign. The team, the Let's Move Committee, comprised of NHIP, the Sports Commission, the Ministry of Health, and the Ministry of Education have been working on this project for quite some time. We're very excited that we are now here to launch this project to the country. This is going to be what we believe to be a game changer. We're very confident in the work that has been done, and we're going to give the country a brief synopsis of what to expect. You're going to see exercise videos, which are produced locally by our local fitness professionals, meal plan videos produced by our local chefs. You're going to see meal prep information, nutritional support. You're going to see, we're also going to have in-person group fitness instruction, where you can be guided on how to exercise properly. We'll have health fitness talks discussing very exciting, interesting topics relating health and wellness and fitness. And one of my favorite, we can have weekly challenges, where we're going to challenge Turks and Caicos Islanders and residents, well, everyone who lives here in TCI, to push themselves a bit. Every week we're going to have challenges, and each week the challenges will get more challenging. Once you register with us, you would also receive various paraphernalia, t-shirts, water bottles, and pedometers to track your steps. And one of my favorite challenges is the Superfood and Dirty 30 challenge. We're going to encourage Turks and Caicos Islanders we have identified 30 dirty foods. And we're going to ask you to refrain from eating those 30 dirty foods during the 12 weeks period. Now, before you get upset and angry and afraid, we're not asking you to not eat it every day. We're just going to ask you every Tuesday and Thursday to refrain from eating the dirty 30. Those of you who are watching, you might see the items. I'm not going to say it on the mic. I don't want any rocks thrown at me. But we're going to encourage you, and we're going to support you in letting go the dirty 30 for 90 days, okay? And we're going to encourage you to eat as much superfoods as you can. Now, we know there are going to be questions about superfoods and how expensive they are in TCI. But I'll let the Minister of Health advise you on some ways that we are working with the government and the private sector to make superfoods more affordable for you during this period and beyond. So, with that being said, we are encouraging individuals to register with this campaign. We're also encouraging corporations, employers, to register employees. Show them that you love them, that you care. It definitely boosts employee morale. We're going to make Let's Move TCI available to all of our employees at the Sports Commission. And I can imagine NHIP and all of our partners as well. because we believe, and I like how they say, I am not just the spokesperson, I am a client, right? I will be a client of Let's Move TCI, and I will take my numbers and I will measure my numbers throughout the course of the campaign. And I believe that with this program, which is strategically designed, we will definitely see improved health. Just to mention a bit about our team, okay? That happened later on. We'll talk about the team. And any questions later on, I'll answer your questions as much best as I can. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Forbes. I am anxious to hear what the Dirty 30 are. I can't wait. So thank you very much for that. And we're all looking forward to Let's Move TCI. Now, there are a group of people heading this initiative, and they are Jody Harvey, Chair, Ifani Otonye, Angelo Garland, Shanaz Gardner, Jonathan Ramraj, Amanda Miller, Jasmine Malcolm, Lakeisha Wilson, and Hannah DeBello. So we'd like to thank those people very much for taking this initiative, for leading it, and for showing us what it means to Let's Move TCI. I now open the floor for any questions from the press.
Just want to find out the financial undertaking for this program.
So yes, this is a national program, so therefore the cost is pricey. And to cover this cost, that's why we have this great partnership between the four partners: NHIP, the Ministry of Health, and Department of Education, and Sports Commission. Right. However, there is a registration fee to offset some of the costs, which primarily deals with the paraphernalia. Our goal is to remove all barriers of entry in this program. We want everyone to be able to participate. So the registration fee for this program is $20. Not $20 a week, not $20 a month, but $20 for the entire 3-month period. So we know that that is affordable, and we're all, like I said, we're also encouraging employers to sign their employees up to also assist in ensuring that everyone can participate in this program.
As it relations to promotion, I heard you mention about videos and stuff like that. What are the other factors of promotion are you looking into?
As far as, well, like I said, definitely the workout videos. So a person who signs up for Let's Move TCI, what they can expect is on the weekend, they'll get a video release for workouts, right? They will work out that day on Monday at home with their families, or small Let's Move groups that they can create among their friends. We'll also release a meal prep video that highlights local cuisine, cooking it healthier, doing particular substitutions that they can now purchase food for Sunday dinner, right, and recreate that meal. They'll also receive nutritional meal plans for that week, as well as the weekly challenge. And we'll give them a certain amount of time to complete the challenge. We have a website, letsmovetci.com. We also have a Facebook page and Instagram and YouTube.
Okay, so those are the 3 main entities from which they can extract those information.
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. A similar program some years ago was in effect, and that has dissipated. How will this program be sustained?
Through partnership. Through partnership, through collaboration, through corporate society getting on board, through individual persons in TCI promoting fitness. We have been speaking to a number of corporate entities, and they're on board. They're excited, and they're even adding to the campaign. They're saying, can we do Let's Move competitions? Can we have our own challenges amongst our employees? Can we compete against other companies? And so the energy that we are seeing right now, we believe we can cultivate it. One of our, I did not mention earlier, we're going to have in-person workout sessions where we have large groups coming together, where they get a chance to work along with the fitness instructors and each other for motivation, encouragement, and also instruction. At those sessions, corporate TCI has come on board and said, we will provide prizes for persons who attend live group sessions. Prizes such as day passes, meals, spa treatments. Our phone companies are on board. And so it shows that the entire country holistically is excited about fitness and health.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to talk to you a little bit later, but I want to just speak with the minister as it relates to the school's nutrition and fitness program. If we give us some of the details that it will entail.
Thank you, Vivian. As you know, I usually walk with my team members, and we have Miss Hannah, who's on the committee, who also works with the Health and Promotions Advocacy Unit. So I'll allow her to give a little bit of details on that particular program. Okay. Should be here in just one sec. All right, no problem. But,
so we have Damien waiting online.
Okay, so until she comes.
Damien?
Yeah, I'm here.
You're prepared with your question?
Yes, I am.
You can go ahead.
Go ahead.
Okay, my question really is to the minister or the director of the Sports Commission, which is what spurred the initiation of this campaign? You know, why now at this time?
Okay, I'll start from where I came in, and then I could allow the director of sports to give you the initial, because this was something that the Sports Commission was working on before they introduced the other potential partners with us. So they kind of came up with the concept. And again, sports and health actually is a great pairing, and we do miss them in the Ministry of Health. So, you know, I'll keep on saying that until somebody move around and bring them back home, right? Because that's a natural fit. That's where the world is moving to. That's where we understand now needs to be the pairing. So once we had the initial meeting, which included myself, the PS, Desiree Lewis from Ministry of Health, as well as the Minister of Education, her PS, Miss Howell Robinson, who also has politics in her blood, just so you know, in case we forgot the history of TCI, you know, she was also there, and a number of the now committee members. We got the layout, we got the vision, and we all bought in. Now, Mr. Forbes is being, I guess, being humble and not saying what the cost is, but this program actually to run for the next 3 months is anywhere between 120 to 150,000, and we can make it bigger with more sponsorship. So as persons join on and enhance what we're doing, right, we can make it even bigger. And the thing about it, at the end of it, because this is such a good initiative, and you mentioned, Vivian, earlier about there being past initiatives and then it kind of fatted out, I could tell you here today, this is something that we would look to do every beginning of the year, annually, because the reason why it's important, right, not just because of the New Year's resolutions and stuff, it's a 3-month program. Generally speaking, any new habit takes about 3 weeks to set in, right? We're giving you a 3-month opportunity, which is 4 3-week cycles to get these new habits. And also, since I'm already here, and I might as well say this now while I'm here, and then I'll let Mr. Forbes come and ask or speak to the initiative or the concept and why it came about. Overall, the superfoods that Mr. Forbes spoke about, and the Dirty 30, but the superfoods specifically, and about its affordability. Yesterday in Cabinet, what we passed was that for the next 12 months, all duties will be waived on the superfood listing from December 15th. Why is 1 year important? 1 year is important is because we don't want you to start up for 3 months, start buying these superfoods, and then after a short period, the prices spike on you right away. We want you to continue in that habit of utilizing those superfoods long term. And then in a year time, we'll revisit whether or not we keep the duties off. But it's a 1 year start because we are committed to this. This isn't a one-off thing. This isn't a, okay, well, we're going to do it and stop. As long as the Sports Commission is about, as long as the Ministry of Health is about, as long as the Ministry of Education, NHIP, this is a long-term partnership. This is what partnership and collaboration is going to do. So whatever we do this time, we'll look to do it even bigger next time, because persons may or may not participate this time. You should. Once the registration is available, get registered, because it's going to be a great initiative. It is a great initiative. So this is something you don't want to miss. You literally don't want to miss. So, yeah, so that's that. Let me turn over to
one
Mr.
second, just for the benefit of the public.
Sorry.
But
Go ahead, Damien.
No, I'm going to allow Mr. Forbes to get through the
I was thanking the
initiative.
minister for his response. My other question, well, I have a few questions, but one of my other questions is, given that you've said that you want to be able to expand the program, is there currently a cap on the program? I see that your target number of participants is roughly around 1,000 persons, 3% of each target age group. Is that 1,000 a cap, or is there a bigger cap?
No, that target is a minimum. That's the minimum we would like to see registered to consider this a success. But there's room for growth, because at the end of the day, right, a lot of the components can be used actually globally. Because if you have a nutrition plan that's online, that's being shared every week, anyone can use that and participate. If you have home workout plans, any home across the world could access that. The reason registration is important, one, it shows a commitment. $20 is not a lot, but it's an additional commitment to say, all right, well, this is my input, and that helps to offset all of the niceties and the thing that we said that we must have, at least I said we gotta have, because I want one myself, was the speedometer, right, to track your steps. So those things cost money, right? So with the funding from the various arms within the stakeholder group, in addition to our corporate sponsors, this year, next year, whatever the package is, that additional funding can give you more tools. So this is something that we feel that is a good start in terms of putting you in a position to live healthier lives long term. And year to year, I think we're just going to keep on building out that 1 year. Maybe we could have the whole country moving. So the 1,000 persons are the minimum, but it has flexibility even with the current budget to accommodate a lot more people than 1,000. Mr. Forbes?
Okay, thank you.
Hold on,
very much.
Damien. Mr. Forbes is going to expound on your question.
And that was how this came about, correct? This is, and Ms. Howard Robinson can attest to this, the Ministry of Health, Dr. Nadia Assad was pushing this project for about maybe 2 or 3 years. She wanted to see this off the ground. And so at that time, we were trying to move it forward in 2018, and we ran into some challenges, but we remained persistent, and we realized that in order for this to actually work, we had to involve more initial stakeholders. We needed more partners. It was heavy to lift, and so by bringing in these entities and having that meeting and say, this is what we want, this is what we want to do, it has to be a national initiative, and by speaking with big private sector employers and them coming on board so early and saying we're on board, that gave us the energy to actually bring this project to life. And I believe that this is going to be sustainable, right? We have other mechanisms and structures in place that will definitely ensure sustainability of this project.
Thank you very much, Mr. Forbes. My other question, or rather I have 2 more questions. I'll give to both of them now. One is, can you give us an idea of the 30-30? I really would love to know what they are. And I think everybody out there is waiting with bated breath to hear what the 30-30 are. That's my first one. And my last question is really more of a suggestion. Given that you're going to be creating this leaderboard to help motivate persons, I was wondering, is the leaderboard going to be accessible via a website, an app? You know, how a person is going to access this leaderboard to be able to see or compare themselves to say, all right, I know my friend in this department or this company is participating in Let's Move TCI. You know, where do I stack up in comparison to my friend? So how will the public access this leaderboard?
I'll start a leaderboard question. So we'll be communicating with the registered participants through our website, all right, and also our social media pages. So that's how we're going to communicate with all of our participants. In reference to the Dirty 30, right? I believe it's up on the screen now. Those items are the fun stuff. Those are the comfort foods and the most affordable items as well. But we're not asking you to just stop cold turkey. We're just saying every Tuesday and Thursday to refrain from Dirty 30. Now, we're encouraging persons, families, companies to form Let's Move internal groups where you further challenge yourself. So I would like to know about the groups that challenge themselves to remove the Dirty 30 for 30 days, for 60 days, for 90 days, and go far beyond the Tuesdays and Thursdays. Now, I'm going to be honest, I got to have it on Fridays. So I'll probably try to do 4 days a week, right? But I know that these are the foods that we love so much. One thing I also want to add is during our lives, I said it already, but the prizes, correct? Yes, I just want to make sure I mentioned that part. Any other questions?
Before we have the schools and nutrition program, I just want to divert a little bit, still sports, but divert a little bit as it relates to sporting in the TCI in general. We have seen some sporting bodies that are very active, very prominent, but we have seen some who probably they have gone in a state of dormancy. How is the periphery in general in TCI in terms of sports?
Well, things were picking up significantly prior to COVID-19. And with the pandemic and things closing down, there's some funding was restricted. Now things are starting to get back to normal. Some federations are able to pick up quicker than others. But we see some movement, and we believe that going into the new calendar year, we're going to see more activity amongst, I guess, a more wide range of activity amongst the various sporting bodies.
We had heard of in the past, probably even before COVID, that there are some associations that really not pulling their weight. Some of them, I believe, near to national pastimes, but they're not pulling their weight. How is that coming on?
Well, we have in the sports commission, we do have a compliance and support department. We're working along with these federations to develop strategic plans. We have increased funding for federations. We have increased certain mechanisms that ensure us more transparency, such as external audits. We're helping them with their internal structure. And we, like I said, oftentimes we see success when it occurs, but we don't see the background work. So I can assure you there's a lot going on in the background. And we see that it's only a matter of time before it blooms. So be patient with our federations. They are working, and you're going to see the fruit of the labor very soon.
My final question to you, as it relates to the national stadium and the repairs, percentage-wise, how far are we?
So we did run into some issues with the current climate right now, COVID-19 affecting manufacturing, affecting shipping. So that kind of put us back with some delays. So we're delayed back a few months. We'll be sending out a notice very soon to the general public as to the extension of time that it will take to complete the project. But it's on the way. It's on the way.
One more question from Damien. Okay, so this is the final question, Damien. You can go ahead.
Okay, my final question, thank you very much to Vivian for asking some of the things I wanted to ask. My final question really is, given that we're now launching this national program for basically all residents and citizens of the PCI, Is there any plans to institute, and I know persons have been asking over the years, but a similar kind of program, regular program for our athletes where, they're really given more guidance in terms of nutrition, workouts, all of those things. I know we're kind of headed in that direction, but, how soon are we to a nationally recognized program for our athletes?
Thank you for that question, Damien. Yes, we are definitely heading in the direction. As many may know, we recently launched our Sports Performance Center that deals with specialized support in the area of physical training and nutrition for our athletes. We also expanded our grants policy that deals with athlete development, where only our elite athletes or development athletes have access to those funding. There are a number of things in the pipeline, so much that we're trying not to clog the pipeline, right? But believe me when I say that our athletes can rest assured that we have them on our minds, and we're working diligently to ensure that in the near future, we'll have tremendous success in TCI sports.
I have one question for the Minister of Health, and then perhaps he'd like Hannah to just tell us about the school thing. But Minister, I heard the Director of Sports say that your CMO has been asking for this for 2 to 3 years. So besides the initiative of partnerships and corporate partnerships and getting us moving, did our obesity or health ailment numbers attribute in any way to this initiative?
Well, I'm not, given that I guess I've just arrived to the Ministry of Health, so to speak. I'm not sure, but in terms of a definitive answer, but it definitely helps for that as well, because we're trying to shape the lives of, I guess, older people, but as well as younger people, because if we don't get a grip on this now and curb it, those persons might be in need of secondary and tertiary care later on. So primary health care is like very, very important. So this helps that. So when I said earlier about this could be the beginning of a paradigm shift, that is exactly what I was talking to. And before I let Hannah to the podium to speak, I was just happy to know that this was actually our baby. It took a little while to birth, but if they'd have said that on the first meeting, we might have doubled up they funding. But they mentioned that to me, because, I'm a caring father and I take care of my kids, right?
And you would have made this a big deal.
It is a big deal. So it can be even bigger next time. Yes, but Hannah?
Morning, everyone. So the minister has put me on the spot, but very briefly, the school nutrition and physical fitness program essentially is to foster to families, particularly children growing up, the need to plant your own food and eat your own food, and the importance of physical activity, which Let's Move TCI is trying to promote, the less sedentary lifestyle and getting into physical activity. So the program will entail 3 days a week for a couple hours after school. It's an after school program, and it's also about getting the parents involved as well. So children will have the ability to physically plant their own food. So we're going to get seedlings. So the Department of Agriculture is partnering with us. So we get the seedlings, we set up grow boxes and shade houses, and after school the children get to come plant their own foods, learn about the foods, learn about healthy foods and balanced diets, and then see how those seeds grow into plants and fruits and vegetables that they can harvest and eat. So one of the main objectives of this is for them to learn to plant their own food, eat it, and enjoy it. Of course, it will have the physical aspect of it too. So, you find ways to encourage them to get moving, swimming, dancing, running, just ensuring that from young they understand that food and nutrition and having physical activities and all of that contributes towards a healthy lifestyle. And the parents will be involved as well in the after school program. So the initiative wants to involve the family. So we believe that once you start from young and you instill it in the children from young, that they can plant their own food, they can grow their own food, they can exercise, they can live a healthy life, then, you know, it helps to contribute towards a healthier society.
Could you say when it's going to come on stream?
I can't give you a date just yet, but things are on stream. We have to start with the pilot projects, as Honorable Minister mentioned. We're going to start with pilot projects at 2 primary schools in Grand Turk, and then when we see how that rolls out, then we can launch nationally. Thank you.
Thank you, Hannah. We've come to the end. No more questions, Viv? You're good? Okay, no more questions. So, Turks and Caicos, you heard. Let's enjoy those Christmas and New Year meals. And then let's get ready to move TCI. The Sports Commission is available at any time to answer your questions. There's a website, letsmovetci.com. That's letsmovetci.com. Once you access the website, there's also an email address where you could send any of your questions or all of your questions to. So from our speakers, the Sports Commission, the ministers remind me that registration opens today, so get on and register and, you know, hype yourself up for January 2022, and let's get moving. The Sports Commission thanks you all for listening and for joining in. They're looking forward to your partnerships and your participation in Let's Move TCI. The Minister of Health, as always, encourages us to stay safe and well and to follow our protocols. So Jody is just reminding us, the chair of the committee is saying there's a registration drive on December 4th at IGA locations, both in Providenciales and Grand Turk. So let's go and get registered. Until then, have a great day.